Hey everybody, it's Michelle here, Contemporary Quilling. I was one of the ones that was going to be doing a presentation tonight. I will just give some people a few minutes to join if you're going to join in. I'm a few minutes early. It's about 6:57 or so Eastern Time. Hi Lori. I've never done a Facebook Live, so just bear with me. Hi Shelly, how are ya? Just give some more people a chance to log on if they're going to. Please excuse the mess in the background. You won't be looking at that for long because I'm going to turn the video around. My other half is a ham radio operator, so he has all kinds of crazy stuff. Hey Lori. I'm actually going to rotate this around because I can't read the comments. Maybe that's a little better. I'm good, Shelly. Had a bit of a migraine today, but I think that just comes with living in the Ohio Valley like I do. Hi, Bonnie Lou. So today I'm going to be showing everybody, if you have a Cricut machine, how to cut your own strips. So there's been some talk about it in the group about how to cut your own strips, and so this will just allow you greater access to different types of paper, different prints of paper, and I'm going to be showing using cardstock. So that's what I'll be doing today. And you'll have to forgive me, Bonnie, this is my first time doing a Facebook Live feed, so just bear with me, girls. Give some people some more time to get on if they're going to. And of course, if you weren't able to make the live video, this will be posted in the group for later. Just start here in a couple more minutes. They are Shelly. I've never worn them, so I was like, well, why not? I don't know how well you can see them. There they are. Let's see. Hang on just a second. Stacy are sending me an invite. I don't know if you can do it for me because I'm not familiar with it. Okay. Oh, thank you, Bonnie. Thanks, Lori. I don't know. Hang out with me, girls. Let's see. Well, I don't want to miss anybody. I'm not sure if I'm gonna. Y'all bear with me. This is my first time doing this. Trying to invite specifically people who were posting on my post last night. Oh, we're up to 6 people now. Oh, I just lost somebody. That's okay. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to flip my camera around also. All right, ladies and gents. So tonight I'm going to be showing how to do, how to cut your own Cricut strips. I'm sorry, quilling strips with using your Cricut machine. And the Cricut machine is, this is my Cricut machine. And if you all learn anything about me, it'll be that I'm a little obsessed with Alice in Wonderland. But it allows you to cut, it allows you to draw, it allows you to print and then cut, which is what all of my little figurines are. That's vinyl. And you can cut a wealth of different materials, cardstock, you can cut leather, you can cut cork, you can cut board, vinyl, just regular paper. So tonight I'm going to be cutting stamp stock from Cricut. So what I have here, I have Cricut Design Space on my computer, which is the program that Cricut requires you to use to allow your Cricut to cut. So what I'm going to do is get started here, and I'm going to show you tonight how to do more. So, and I'm sorry you can't see this very well, it's dark. I go to insert here, and I just click on it. It gives me different shapes just under my mat. This area here is called your mat, and so I'm going to just hit the square button, and there's my square. That's going to be the start of my strip. Okay. Hi, Lucy. Hey, Stacy. Oh, thank you, Lucy. So over here, there's an edit panel. And let me just say, if you have a Silhouette, which is similar to a Cricut or any other machine, I can't speak on those. I can imagine they'd work pretty similar. But like I said, I've never had experience. So, sorry, Bonnie. Let me... Sorry if it cuts out, guys. Okay. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the dimensions of my square that I just put onto my map. I have width and I have height. Over here is a little lock. If I click on this lock, it unlocks and it now allows me to change both of these values to whatever I want them to be. So for the width, we're going to change it to 0.25, and then our height is going to be based on the materials that you have for your Cricut. So I have 12 by 24 cardstock, and I also have a 12 by 24 mat that I can put my cardstock onto. And the mat, I'll show you, is just this green sticky board right here that I feed into my machine. That's the mat, and then you have the cardstock, the blue material here. So I have both of those in 12 by 24. So for my height, I'm going to be able to change this strip up to 23.5 inches. Okay, and watch what happens. Come over here. Oh, what happened? Sorry guys, hold on. Well, let me do that again. 23.5. And then I come over here, and it has created one big long strip. Okay, so this is your 1/4 inch strip, and it's 23.5 inches long. Okay, and now for the 1/4, you can get up to 29 strips on one piece of cardstock. So the cardstock is 12 by 24, and you can get up to 29 strips if you're doing the 1/4. If you're doing 1/2-inch strips, which I like to do, you can get up to 18 on one piece of cardstock. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to feed this into the machine. You know, so it'll start moving here in a second. And then there's also the smart dial over here on the side, and I have that set to cardstock. The Cricut, the newer Cricuts are smart in where you don't have to do the manual setting like you used to on the older machines, if anybody else is familiar with Cricut. So it automatically adjusts the pressure and how fast the needle moves as well. So on my screen, so you have this here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over to the layers section of that strip, and down here I'm going to be able to hit duplicate, and if I hit it, it's going to do just what it should. It's going to duplicate it. So I have all these strips now. They're all the same height, they're all the same width. So there you go. Okay, I'm just going to show you a couple. Okay, so I hit go. Okay, and that's going to bring, and it's going to ask me, you know, are you sure we've updated your mat to 12 by 24, because the standard is 12 by 12. So I'm going to hit continue, and here's your preview screen. This is what your strip is going to look like on your mat. Okay, now I have already cut one out when I was practicing earlier, so I'm going to move one of these just over one spot. Okay, and you can move these around on the mat as much as you want, wherever you want. And then down here is the go button. You're going to come to another screen. It's just going to recognize the Cricut. It's going to show you what dial position you have on your machine, which is cardstock. And then over here, you're going to start getting your Cricut button to start flashing. That's telling you that it's ready to go. And give me just a second to let this cut out. And it's going to start in random places, trust me. And there it goes. Hi Carla, thanks for watching. So there's one strip. It jumps all over the place, but I think you all get the gist of it. And I just kind of like to hold down on my paper lightly, because it's just cutting such a thin piece of material and such a thin width. I don't have my paper quite lined up correctly on my mat, but that's okay. And it's just going to keep until it's cut all the strips that you have placed on your mat. Okay. So just in the interest of time, I'm going to hit pause over here. Okay. And it paused my machine. Unload button. Yeah, neither have I, Shelly. Neither. Okay, so say you've done your whole piece of cardstock, all full strips, and then what you do is you can. Sorry, I'm doing this one-handed because I have to hold my camera in my other hand. And then I just pull lightly up on my strip, and there is your strip. That is a 1/4. I'm trying to get it for you. Can I see it? Like I said, this is my first time doing this, girls, so just bear with me. If I do another one, I hope it'll be better. Okay? And so that's how I primarily cut strips. I like using cardstock strips because it's more forgiving. It doesn't bend as much, it doesn't wrinkle, and I like doing it for on-edge work, which I love doing. I love doing on-edge work. So that is how you cut strips on your Cricut. If you want to do 1/2-inch strips, you would just set your width to 0.5, and then of course your length, however long you could cut up to, which is 24 or 23. If you wanted to do 1/18 or 1/8 of an inch, you would do your width for 0.125. And then if you wanted to brave it and do 1/16 strips, your width would have to be 0.0625 to get it real thin. So I hope, are there any questions? Okay. Do I feel like there is waste between strips on the cardstock? So unfortunately, I have not figured out, Shelly, how to reduce that any further. But it's not such a bad thing because you could potentially get more strips out of it. That is the space that is quote-unquote wasted, if you want to call it wasted. But you could get a whole nother strip out of that, really. You could use the leftover material in between your strips as strips. So I never have, you know me. If I'm not going to use it, I throw it away. I don't care if it's a full piece of strip or not. I'm horrible about that. But no, I don't feel like it's wasted because you could use the material between each strip. So that's a good question. All right. I guess for those that are, how fast does it cut? Say how many in 10 minutes? So how fast does it cut? That really depends on the machine that you have. I have what's called Cricut Explorer, and it was the first series in their newest line that requires you to use this Design Space program, which is all online. And so for a 12 piece of cardstock, I'd probably say, you know, in under 5 minutes. Under 5 minutes. And I mean, really, you can go into something else. Is cutting. You don't have to sit there and make it. For what it takes and for the possibility that I can with it. Could you adjust the strips? Design Space part. You probably could, Shelly. You probably could do that. I'm not a, the only time I've ever used, weld, you'd probably want to use weld to do that instead of grouping. So, like I said, you could still use, even the material that's left over. So, just wanting to hang out now with y'all. If there's any other questions, or I'll try and figure out how to post this to the group later. Hi guys. And I just want to also say that I've really enjoyed watching our group grow like it has, and there's some exciting things coming down from all of us moderators and admins. And if anybody ever has any issues, questions, concerns, suggestions, anything, don't be afraid to reach out to one of us. It's me. My name's Michelle Dollar. There's Stacy Betancourt. There's Zoe Brenner. Jennifer Mercer Stacy. She's one of our new moderators. And there's Zahara. So don't be afraid to reach out to us. And we'll try and help you as best we can. Like I said, there's some pretty cool stuff coming down the pipeline for the group that we hope you all will really enjoy. We've been working hard, and Stacy has spearheaded it, so we hope that you all will really benefit from it. Oh, you're welcome, Lori. Thank you for watching. Weld, group, and attach. Yeah, so So Shelly, with weld, and sorry, this is kind of going off a little bit, but you know, say you're cutting out something on your Cricut, like a name, like, you know, and you wanted it to all be attached or all cut out at once instead of individual letters, you would highlight the whole name, and then you would right click and do weld. Weld, it's going to sound funny, weld attaches it to each other. So that's what you would do there. Strip is a good strip. Yeah, I'm horrible about just throwing stuff away that I shouldn't. So, because you know that strip I was talking about in between strips that you could use? Yeah, here it is right here. It's right here. It's going in my trash. So, alright ladies, well, thank you for watching. If anybody has any questions, you know, you can reach out to me. You can post it on the thread that this video I hope will spur. And then hopefully in the next couple of Saturdays, I'll do another one showing you, you know, how to draw with your Cricut for a guide for your quilling. So that's something I'd also like to do, because that's what I do. Yeah, Lori, Shelly, you all get me. So yeah, and if anybody has any suggestions for movie night, if you want to do a movie night, just, you know, get with one of us moderators, or, you know, yeah, message one of us. You know, like, I know Shelly, I kind of said something about the roses to one of the other girls, so kind of hoping, you know, you might one day. Oh, you're welcome, Lucy. Love to see what you're working on, Lucy, if you're working on anything. So yeah, thank you all for watching. Sorry if I was a little scatterbrained. Like I said, this was the first time I've done this, so I hope the next one will be a little more polished. And y'all have a good night, and I'll see you all around in CQ. Alright guys, good night.